to the Rugby Connection podcast. So, regular season is pretty much finished in some leagues, late drama. But before we get into all the action from around the rugby world, hit the subscribe button, get that notification bell going because we've got so much coming and we don't want you to miss it. So, here we go. Joining us this week, it's just Kyle this week. Sean's a very busy man, but we've still got one of them, so it's all good. Kyle, how are we?
Not too bad, Murray. Good weekend of rugby. Bit disappointing for me as a Connacht fan, but all was good. Some entertaining games, and I think we should say thanks to all the fans as well. We've hit 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Yes.
Rugby Connection podcast. So if you haven't followed, go and follow us. But thanks to everyone who's followed already.
Yeah, we can now go live. So when we're all at games, we could do a little introduction, maybe 10-minute live questionnaire. Who knows? Maybe
That's
next
good.
season. No much games this year, so. But we'll start off with the URC because that is our main one here at Rugby Connection. Benetton against Cardiff. I have no words. 69-21 to Benetton.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
I tuned in 30 minutes in, and it was 31-0 to Benetton. And I thought, what's happening here? And Cardiff backline's a bit inexperienced, to be fair. But this shouldn't be happening. Benetton are improving, but that's really, really embarrassing for Cardiff rugby.
It really is. And debating that last week, you said which Welsh club would go. After that, it would be Cardiff.
Yeah, for sure. Dragons have probably not been the best team the last few years, but if you're going to be putting out performances like that, it's not good. I saw, was it Mike Phillips? There was someone talking anyways, and they were saying that if Welsh rugby continues to go the way it is, then Italy are going to pass them out and be the kind of regular fifth place contender in the Six Nations. But they really need to have a look at what's going on because you can't be beaten by that. No team should be beaten like that, but especially not Cardiff.
Yeah, no, I'm always the same. I don't see how professional rugby across the board, I don't see how you get an absolute slapping like that. But anyway, well done, Benetton. What a performance to end their regular season in Cardiff. Can't get much worse for next year, really. Sadly. Anyway, Ulster versus the Sharks. 24-21 to Ulster. Yeah, nice little win. Confirms their home quarter final.
Yeah, it was a good game actually. I saw a bit of it. I didn't want to watch too much rugby on Friday. I was rugbyed out at that stage from the previous week, but I thought it was a good game from what I saw. And James Hume, he's been performing really well and putting his hand up for selection to go on the summer tour.
Oh, absolutely. I think Hume will get on that tour.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a lot of competition in them centres, and people want to see other youngsters going as well as Frawley. So we'll see how it goes, but I think he should go, and he might get a start in one of the tests or a midweek game, if not.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I could see him against maybe the Maori All Blacks, maybe not the All Blacks, though. But never say never, because all it takes is to really put your hand up and get that nod, or an injury occurs, take your opportunity. But we will discuss more about the round of 16 or quarterfinals for URC. But Bulls beating Ospreys 30-31. Yeah, just nice game. It was actually probably Ospreys' best game in a while, to be fair to them.
I did think Bulls maybe would kind of blow them away a little bit, but fair play to the Ospreys. They kind of held in there for a while, and they did challenge Bulls. I think they scored a last-minute try to kind of a little consolation, which didn't make the scoreline look as bad. But no, I thought it was a decent game, the highlights I saw. And Cornel Hendricks, he had a pretty good game, killing it at 34-35, I think he is.
Proper blast from the passer. I remember when he kind of burst on, he was going to be the next big Springbok, then he fell off, and now he's just a regular for the Bulls. Not that's a bad thing, it's just how it goes. Another win for South African teams. The Lions beating the Dragons 21-11. It is what it is. Dragons kind of almost, don't want to say a banter team, because they're far from it. It's just they put up a really good performance against Connacht, and then nothing for months. Then they put up a great game against Leinster, and then nothing. And yeah, it's wildly inconsistent.
Yeah, I forgot about that Connacht game, to be honest. Not one I want to remember, but no, they lost by 10 points, and they haven't won a game at home all season, which is really poor. It gives your fans nothing to really say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this game." But hopefully, if they don't get disbanded, that they pick it up a bit next season. I know they have a couple of decent players coming in, so you never know.
Well, never say never, because you can't get much worse, realistically.
No.
But we're going to keep moving on. We've got you said it was the worst Connacht game you've been to in a while. Connacht versus Zebra 22-20 at the sports ground. What happened?
It was crazy. Like, we started off pretty well. I think we scored a try in the first couple of minutes. I think first 5 or 6 minutes, Kieran Marmion scored. Then we're looking good. Niall Murray was out in the wing with his hand up for about 20 minutes. Finally got his try in the corner. But it went downhill after that, and Zebra scored a try last few minutes. Then went on 84, 85 minutes. Zebra still trying to play it out of the 22. And Carlo Canna goes for a chip over the top, bounces awkwardly. Oren McNulty gathers it and kicks it into the stands. Game over. Canna was in tears afterwards. He was gutted. And I think, I don't know if Zebra were the better team because both teams were poor. But if Zebra had won, it definitely wouldn't have been a fluke because that Connacht performance was very, very poor.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not the first time Zebra's came close to stunning us everywhere. I mean, just a look at a few weeks ago, we played Edinburgh. I thought it was going to be an absolute write-off because of the results going into that game. And now we won by like 3 points. So it just tells you can't sleep on any team regardless of form. But I don't know what to say about Connacht's season. It's very weird.
Yeah, and like, well, I was looking at stats that this season we've had a 50% win rate, which is actually the most consistent we've ever had. Or maybe it was over the last 3 seasons. It was either. But statistically, Andy Friend has now become the most consistent coach we've had, which I was really surprised to see. And I think he's a great coach, but I think the players need to probably look at themselves over the off season as well and see what's going on. Maybe it's a mental thing, but I think Zebra had chances. Like, I counted at least 6, 7 lineouts that they threw crooked, or jumpers mistimed their jump where they could have had opportunities. And then, you know, Carlo Cano was probably unlucky. He had most of the kicks were out in the touchline. So there's a few things there that could have went their way and maybe they could have won it. But listen, we need to kind of look at ourselves probably and hopefully change things for next season.
Yeah, again, onwards and upwards. Again, you can't sleep on Connacht. That you've won the league before, so you're always a threat in my eyes. Moving on though, down to Wales, where the Scarlets narrowly defeated by the Stormers. So the Stormers get the African Shield, which is bizarre because the last time I checked the rankings, like shield-wise, Sharks were winning it, but no, Stormers have now won it and finished second. Very weird team, the Stormers, because they keep losing players to the Sharks, but then they just keep bringing great youth through, and it's terrifying, actually, when you think of it.
Yeah, and they're looking good, to be honest. Like, was it last season or the season before? I think they were the 3rd ranked South African team. Last season, actually, it was. They're the 3rd ranked South African team. So they've definitely improved themselves, to be fair. The South African teams have really come into this competition and they've really laid down a marker, really.
Oh yeah, they love this league. From what I've heard from South Africans, they absolutely love it here. Probably because we actually like them as well. Unlike Super Rugby, yeah, that's probably a big thing. And you always get good games. Like, there's been some absolute crackers over here, and then even better when you get the return fixtures down in South Africa. So I like the Global League. I know not many do, but
I like it.
World Rugby is making it quite clear that it's going to happen. So just get on with it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's enjoy. Big game for me this weekend, Kyle. Edinburgh versus Glasgow. I said it last week, everything was at stake for both clubs. And Edinburgh won it 28-11. So we walked away with the 1872 Cup. That was back in Edinburgh. We have the Scottish Italian Shield. We avoid Leinster in the quarterfinals. And we will be in the Champions Cup next season. Cannot wait. Boys played immaculate. It was unreal. The atmosphere was so weird because I didn't want it at Murrayfield. I didn't
Yeah.
want 20-odd thousand at Murrayfield. I wanted it at the Dam. I wanted 8,000 strong, die-hard, passionate fans, but it was loud at times, and Blair Kinghorn running the show. Damien Hoyland got on the scoreboard, throwing back the years, and man of the match on his last game in Edinburgh, Magnus Bradbury. What a send-off. Just can't say much more. But it's great.
It's been a good season for Scottish Rugby. Sorry, Murray. Like when you see Edinburgh and Glasgow both in the Champions Cup next season, and two of them in the quarterfinals as well. I think Edinburgh, especially, like I think they should be really happy with their season. Like you look at the teams that are ahead of them really in the table, and it's only South African and Irish teams that have actually come ahead of them. So
yeah,
I think they could get a lot better and be title contenders next few seasons.
Exactly. I mean, even if you look at the results with the teams that are higher, I mean, we drew with the Stormers at home. We beat the Bulls at home in Edinburgh. Beat the Sharks to become the first team in the Northern Hemisphere to win in South Africa, but then lost to the Lions. So that's only one loss out of the four. And then we lost to Ulster a few weeks ago when it was absolutely horsing it down and Ben Whitehouse was in charge. So you know how it goes. It's a write-off.
Yeah.
And Munster-Leinster, we got beat away when all our boys were away for the Six Nations. So big, massive season for us. Very chuffed. And lastly, Leinster beat Munster. Whoopie-doo. Doesn't matter. Genuinely didn't matter. Worst case scenario, they finished first. Best case scenario, they finished first. Well done, Leinster. You've won the Irish Shield because everyone knew you were going to this. It was confirmed like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, they should have just gotten the Shield then. I think it was a strange kind of game because, like, them Leinster players that went out, I don't think many of them will start or play next week in the final. And with all due respect to them, they're probably not all first choice players. But they went out there against the strongest Munster team that Munster could have put out, and they demolished them. Really, like I think it's poor from Munster after losing to Toulouse like that. It was sickening. They really needed to probably respond this week, I think. Yeah. And I think they showed no heart, really, I think. And there wasn't much passion in it, I think, anyways. Yeah. I thought Jordan Larmour, like, he went from probably being an Irish starter to barely getting into the Leinster 23. He was amazing. Like, he was beating the defenders everywhere. Like, his footwork is brilliant. I thought Richie Murphy's son, he came off the bench, number 21, Ben Murphy. He looked very good. What a way to make your debut in the Aviva Stadium against Munster. And his service was brilliant pass, and he's very fast. And then I had another little thing down as well, Scott Penny's try, where he sidestepped Joey Carberry. Yeah. Great kick from Kieran Frawley. Then he had a back row sidestep and an out half, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, special try. But again, it's not even Leinster's strongest team. And yeah, I've already said my piece on Leinster. Like, yes, they are a successful team, and what they do works. It's just stale at this point now. Not their performances are stale, just it gets stale watching it. Yeah.
I suppose, especially as a Scottish fan, like you're not used to seeing anyone else win, so it must be a bit hard to watch. Maybe you'll get your time sometime.
I'm going to let that one slide. I'm just going to completely ignore that you just said that. Before we move on to a different league, I want your predictions for the quarterfinals that start in 2 weeks, because obviously the Champions Cup's next week, so everyone but Leinster get a day off, essentially. So we're starting off with Ulster versus Munster. It's at the Kingspan. It's at Dublin. At Belfast. It's at Belfast, not Dublin. My apologies.
Yeah, I was going to call you up on that. It's on a Friday evening, which is, I'm not sure why that's been done. It's going to be hard for Munster supporters to get up there. I'm hoping to go up because that should be a great match. I think it's going to be close, but I think Ulster have been in brilliant form lately. And I think, I've been saying it all season, I think they're probably the team to beat Leinster if there is one this season. They've bet Leinster twice. I know it mightn't have been full strength in one of the matches, but they've beaten them twice this season already. And I think they're just going to be ready for Munster. And so I'm going to have to back Ulster. We'll say by 8 points, we'll say.
Oh, I'm not going to give an exact score because I'm absolutely crap with that. But I will back you on that. I will say Ulster are going to beat Munster. I think Munster had their chance to go for a title this year. I know it was penalties and you can't really dictate that, but I think they might have buggered it. I think they might have got to the players and it's just going to go downhill from here.
Yeah, I agree.
On to the Saturday, we've got an all South African affair. Bulls versus Sharks. I genuinely can't write it. I want to say Sharks. I feel like the Sharks have the strongest team. Possibly.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think didn't the Sharks went away at the Bulls earlier in the season. I think they won by 7 points, I think, and now they're away to them again. So that's going to be an interesting one. I back the Sharks as well myself. I do think they have the strongest team. They have some cracking players in. They Sia Khaleesi, they have Lucanio Am, Makazole Mapimpi. I think they have Bongi, Mbanambi and Oxenchi as well, don't they?
For the Sharks, yeah.
So that's a very strong team. So I'd have to back them.
You know who the Sharks don't have? The man himself, Mornay Steyn.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if it comes down to a kicking game and you've got Mornay Steyn starting, goals are winning that. If it comes down to just kicking, Mornay Steyn all day, every day. Moving on, the big one for me, Stormers versus Edinburgh.
Are you heading down to South Africa? Heading down to Cape Town?
I wish.
Anyone wants to sponsor Murray, we'll set up the GoFundMe for you.
GoFundMe, let's go. Get me to Durban. And I'll make my way down there. Yeah, let's go. I want it now.
It's going to be a cracker, I think, though. I'm not sure. How did Edinburgh do against Stormers earlier in the season?
We drew 20-0 at home.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting then. Obviously, Stormers have home advantage. It's going to be hard for you to go down there, but I think it should make out to be a great game. And I don't want to disappoint you, but I back Stormers just by that much. I think it's going to be like a 1-2 point game.
That is fair, and you can call me biased if you want. I don't care. I'm high as a kite on this one because I've never seen Edinburgh perform this well for most part of the quarter-final of the Challenge Cup and Shield double, like I've just said, in the league, and we're now pushing for the actual league title. So I'm backing the boys. We've done it once. We were the first to do it in South Africa. So let's just do it again. It is going to be tough. It is a whole different ball game. Knockout rugby's totally different, but no, I think the lads could cause an upset. And lastly, sorry, Glasgow.
Yeah,
someone has to do it, and
I don't think it's really a prediction. Leinster, I think that's going to be a walkover. You really have to see. So you can't see Glasgow going to Dublin. I'm not sure it's in the RDS or the Aviva, whichever one it is. Can't see Glasgow going there and winning or even coming close to winning. I think that's going to be if Leinster put out their full team, it'll be a walkover. And I think they might put out, with no disrespect to Glasgow, I think they might put out the team they put out against Munster. And I think they would still win convincingly.
It's just, I don't even know who I want to win in that, because if Glasgow win, it's great for Scottish rugby, which I'm all for. But I don't want to really back Glasgow because it's Glasgow, and I don't want to back Leinster because they're in it.
Because you don't like them.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this 2 weeks in a row. I like different finals. I like seeing different teams. That's all. So, Leinster are going to win, but I'll have a wee soft spot for Glasgow.
It's a Leinster agenda.
I might just steer into it now. Yeah, bugger Leinster. Don't like them. No, I'm joking. Moving it down to the Premiership, where I would still say it's all to play for the most part. Leicester Tigers and Saracens are through. They've got their home semis. Fine. Quins, I don't know how they keep doing this. It's the 7th time they've done it this season. So at half time, it was 24-7 to Gloucester. Full time, 28-24 to Quins. I don't know why it keeps happening. They are the best, I will say it, They are the best second half team in world rugby.
It's crazy. Like, I'm not sure is it just some magic thing that they have, or like will their luck run out eventually, or what will happen? But I think it is all to play for. Like you said, like Gloucester are still in the mix to get into that top 4 as well. I think, which I'd like to see.
Gloucester, Northampton are still in it, even though like they got beat by Saracens. That was a close game, 42-38. Theo McFarland, though, the big Samoan flank, what a try, what an effort, nice dive in the corner. Love to see it.
Celebrating like a winger.
Yeah, apart from when he done his hamstring in. I genuinely tried not to laugh.
That's 4. That's 4.
No, just because it doesn't matter if it's Saracens or any team. Like, he ran it in, beautiful. Nice try, nice finish. As soon as he got up, it was like, my hamstring's gone. I was like, come on, man.
He's not used to celebrating like that. I just assumed it was because it's Saracens.
No. I genuinely, I laugh. Even like in different sports, you see them score and then instantly pull up. Like, how have you done that? But no.
Northampton nearly came back as well, so
yeah,
it made it interesting near the end. It was a good game, really high scoring, but
yeah, it was nice try fest if you're down in that area for that game. Good luck, because that would have been amazing to go to as a neutral, just for the score alone. But yeah, Saracens, like I said, home semi-final confirmed. Someone beat them, please. I can't have Leinster and Saracens in the finals in the same year.
Is it Saracens and Harlequins confirmed in the semi-final?
Saracens are definitely confirmed.
Okay.
I want to say Quins are confirmed, but they'll be away.
Yeah, I think they're away to Saracens, though. I'm not sure is that confirmed though.
Is it not?
Because they're guaranteed to get third.
Is it not first versus third, then second versus fourth?
Oh yeah, that could be it.
So it would be Tigers, Quins. Oof.
That's going to be tough for Quins, I think.
And then you've got Saracens versus
Northampton or Gloucester.
Either Northampton or Gloucester or even Sale, and it could happen. I don't think it will, if I'm being realistic. It could be Exeter Chiefs. The result this week did not help them, losing to Bristol.
Can it be Exeter?
It can be, but it has to depend on other results. Like they're not in control of their own fate.
Okay.
After the loss to Bristol, Rob Baxter actually wrote it off, saying like, "Well, that's us. Well, we're finished." But I don't know if that's mind games or not. I hope it is.
I don't know. I think you're finished.
I genuinely think so as well. But Exeter in the Challenge Cup, I'm just saying that could be dangerous to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Like Exeter in the Challenge Cup for next season. I've been saying it now. Connacht in the Challenge Cup next season. So I think we have a chance at winning that, hopefully.
Who knows? Like going back a little bit, Edinburgh in the Champions Cup. Like we've made a fortress at that dam. I'll have Toulouse and Racing, and somebody asked me, "Oh, what if we get Exeter?" Fine, happiest man alive that day if it's Edinburgh Exeter.
Happy whoever wins, is it?
Happy whoever wins. Shake everyone's hand, get full with everyone. We're in Edinburgh and Exeter top. Just stand every point scored. I'll lose my mind at. Yeah, go for it. But it's interesting going into the final week of the Prem. It's going to be interesting
because it's going to be a great week.
3-4 teams fighting for that one place, so it's definitely on. But we're now into the culture round of Super Rugby. What did you think? What have you thought? What was your big ones this week, Kyle, from Super Rugby?
Oh, it was tough. I thought I had notes on it. I didn't. I thought Blues Brumbies was the best one. That was insane. Like Bowden Barrett clutch at the end, drop goal to win it. He scored a nice try as well. Like he's been on fire since he came back, and I think he's definitely in the run to start 10 for the All Blacks this summer. Yeah,
start him at 10. Don't do this whole we'll have Mwanga at 10, have Bowden at 15, have Geordie at the wing. Don't put everyone in. It doesn't work. It doesn't make
sense. It's a 23-man game.
Exactly. But there was actually a meme. It was hilarious. It was from the Rugby AU TikTok page, and it's when Nick White made that clean break, and it looks exactly like Jack Sparrow when he's running.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like as soon as you see some of the Blues defenders trying to clamp down on him, they switch it to the Pirates of the Caribbean, and it genuinely just looks like the exact same thing. It's brilliant. Chiefs
Crazy.
against Force, 54-21.
Blew them away after Chiefs had a tough week the week before.
I know. Quinta Pau, hat-trick. He's only 23. I didn't even realise he was that young.
He's still in the running as well to start for the All Blacks in the centre. Like, I think he's probably still looked at like as maybe being the really young guy in the squad, but he's 23 now, like you said. So
yeah, I mean, who knows? It's so open. Like, anyone could be in those black jerseys. I said Roger Tuivasa-Sheck a few weeks ago in that 12 jersey because he's been on top form. We know the 13. It's Rico you want. If Rico's not got that 13 jersey, Ian Foster needs to get his head examined. Exactly. And it's a hat trick for the big teams winning again, and nobody's happy about it. Crusaders against the Fijian Drua, 61-3. Class.
That wasn't even like there was some Crusaders players missing as well. I think I know Moonga didn't play, and I think they were missing a couple other stars as well. It wasn't a fun game to watch, to be honest, because you just knew what was coming next. It was another try from Crusaders.
Yeah, unreal, just absolutely unreal. But like, we've got one more round of Super Rugby, and it starts tomorrow. Actually, we record on a Monday, so Tuesday we have the rescheduled Moana Pacifica versus the Western Force. Can Pacifica get their first win?
I think so.
Second win, sorry. They did get a win. They got a shock win.
Where is it on? Is it on in New Zealand?
Yes, it will be New Zealand-ish.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, because Drua actually played Fiji, but I think Moana Pacifica is based in New Zealand.
Yeah. I think Moana are in a chance, to be honest. Like, Western Force, after coming off the back, like, 3-day turnaround after being hammered by the Chiefs. I think Moana have a chance.
Well, I'm reading it. Moana's actually got 2 games this week.
Yeah, they're playing on Saturday as well against Brumbies.
Yeah, so the actual run-in for this week for Super Rugby is Pacifica versus Force on Tuesday. Friday night, you've got Crusaders versus the Reds. Saturday, you've got Drua versus Chiefs. Pacifica versus Brumbies. Waratahs versus the Blues. Force versus Hurricanes, and to round it off, Rebels versus Highlanders.
Talking about Highlanders as well, they're not looking good lately, are they? Like,
they got beaten by the Waratahs, and Michael Vinkler running the show again. I don't know what he eats for breakfast, but his engine is terrifying. Just frightening stuff. We're actually going to change up a little bit. Sean's not here, so we're not talking about the MLR because none of us watch it, apart from Sean. But we are going to talk about the Rugby Sevens. The weekend in Toulouse. Oh my God. Men, women, so much great action. Before we proper get into it, massive shout out to a friend of the show, Michaela Blythe. I'm getting 150 tries for the Blackburn Sevens. Legend. Absolute legend.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. How many caps is she on?
I don't know how many caps she gets because sevens is weird to me because you earn like 5 caps on the weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
And Portia Woodman a few weeks ago got her 1000th try.
Who?
Portia Woodman.
Oh yeah, 1000.
1000.
That's nuts.
It's insane. I don't know how she does it. Madness. Absolute mad stats. But yeah, let's discuss the magic weekend that was in Toulouse, because everywhere there was shocks. Let's start with Ireland. Both men and women. Brilliant.
Ireland played brilliantly. Like, it was disappointing in the end, you could say, with the Fiji game, but like, our first ever final, like we bet Argentina, it was at 14-0, I think. We bet France 24-7 in the semi-finals, which that was a really good performance. We bet Spain, we bet South Africa as well, our first ever win against South Africa. So I think it was really kind of satisfying, really, to see how good they played. And we only lost one game the whole tournament against Samoa.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the women's results. There were some absolute shocks. Like the first one that stands out to me, Brazil 31, England 7. What?
That's crazy. Brazil lost in the last World Series, or 2 World Series ago. They lost to Belgium. Yeah. And now they're going to done that to England. Was it England?
Yeah, England 7s, yeah.
That's crazy.
It wasn't the best weekend for England 7 because Scotland 21, England 19. Yes. Matt, again, another big shout out. Rona Lloyd getting the match winner. Just unreal. And Michaela Blythe and the Black Ferns are finally back, getting a win in Toulouse, winning the final. But Australia do win the World Series because New Zealand weren't there for half of it. It was really weird. They returned for the Langford Sevens in Canada 2 weeks ago, and they've still finished like 6th in the world ranking table, the final table. It's insane. I don't know how they've done that, but yeah, it's nice to see them back. And like you said, the men, Ireland, getting to their first final and losing to Fiji. It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing to. And sevens,
you can't really complain.
Exactly. But we are going to talk about possibly the most controversial thing of the weekend. I don't understand. Both teams were in the wrong. So if you aren't aware, it was Argentina versus England. It was already confirmed that both teams were going through to the knockouts. England broke away for a try, and like they do in sevens, you walk it in and try and make the defence come back. Argentina didn't come back. They just stood and went, when you go then, put it down. This went on for, I want to say, at least 5 minutes.
I think it was just under 3 minutes, I think.
That's a lot.
Maybe a lot bit longer, but like that's a long time in sevens.
That's a long time for anyone when this clock just like time just stops dead.
Yeah. The crowd weren't happy, and I think it's the fact that if England conceded after that, they were in danger of not qualifying, and if Argentina conceded twice, they were in danger of not qualifying. So it goes against rugby values, really, though. Like, just play on and give us a good spectacle. Like, I'd rather lose and have played good rugby and have tried than to win but just be scummy about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and like even you said to me earlier, Kyle, the ref was telling them, "Back you come and get it." Like,
come and tackle them.
Like, yeah, go and tackle them. Stupid decision. Made no sense, and they both got put out anyway. Pointless effort.
Karma got them. Well, ref should have penalised them for what's that law? You can penalise someone for not playing within the values of rugby or bad sportsmanship. Poor sportsmanship, yeah.
I think it's definitely going to get looked at, actually. But again, big praise for me, Scotland sevens, beating South Africa sevens. That's a massive win. 24-21. Well done, lads. And actually the girls did it as well. And considering they were an invitational team, I think they did quite well. Their group wasn't the easiest. They had New Zealand first up and then Canada. Yeah. But they dug in and both did. I think the girls finished 9th and the boys finished 10th because they got beat by New Zealand in the 9th place playoff. Very weird. And I think the girls' season is finished. I want to just double check that because they have not as many rounds. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, girls are finished. The boys have 2 more rounds. They're in London.
Next
week. London's next. And then you wait till August for the LA Sevens. I don't know why you have to wait 2 months for that, but okay.
Pointless. Just hold it a month later.
Exactly. Makes more sense. But hey ho, that's the 7th roundup. And going into dabbling into the women's game, Premier 15's semi-finals this week. Saracens again back in the final.
Of course.
30-10 over Quins. That's a big win. I thought I would. Usually that is your actual Premier 15's final, but for this year, because of the league, it was your semi-final, which benefits me massively because Exeter Chiefs win against Bristol Bears. I cannot hammer home how special this group of Exeter Chiefs are.
It's brilliant, but it's brilliant for them. But like, weren't they founded in 2019?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Founded in 2019. Essentially took them 2 years because COVID, so everything was shut. Took them 2 years to win a cup, and now they're pushing for the league in the same year. And again, shout-outs just keep coming this week. It's been a good week for the show. Kate Zachary, Captain America. The interviews just came out. Go and check it out. Led the team, led by example. It was very touch and go. They were 21-0 up at one point, and it got to 24-21 to the Bears. 3 minutes to go. She's got a try. Yeah, brilliant. It's not good for the heart though, but makes good TV.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I was really wanted Bristol to win, to be honest, and should make for a good final though. It's really nice that it's going to be changed up anyways, because it's a shame just to see the same final every year.
Exactly. And that's no disrespect to any of the teams that have done it. You're obviously like above the rest, but yeah, like we've said, we like seeing new teams. Doesn't mean we hate the teams that keep making the finals. As I keep feeling like I need to explain that, but yeah, it's just nice. And a change is nice. It's a nice thing. You would get bored if everyone had the same finals for every league every year. You would get bored.
Yeah, 100%. Even like I didn't want an all French Champions Cup final as well as the Challenge Cup final, because you get bored of seeing the same countries in it every year. If we saw Toulouse, La Rochelle again this year, which it looked like we could, that would have been pretty disappointing. Like just to see the exact same thing again.
Yeah, exactly. But we've avoided it, so it's all good. Last shout out, because it was the Prem Cup final last Tuesday, but we recorded on a Monday, so we couldn't cover it. London Irish versus Worcester Warriors finished 25-all, but because Worcester scored 3 tries, they won the Prem Cup. Now, massive congratulations to them. That is their first top-tier title, but I don't like how they've done it.
No, I don't either. Like because they scored more tries. And like, just go to penalties. I'm sure after the last few weeks, everyone wouldn't mind seeing another round of penalties, or just play even I'd rather even a replay. Like, don't bring replays into rugby probably, but I'd rather a replay than just decided on tries. It's disappointing. And Paddy Jackson, did he bottle it?
He did it extra time, yeah.
Yeah, was it 5 missed penalties?
He was 100% in the original 80 minutes and then missed, I don't think it was 5, I think it was 4. Every single kick in extra time.
That's 4.
It is, but it was a weird one for the show because we had Matt Rogerson, London Irish captain, and Kyle Rowe representing the Irish boys. And then you've got Murray McCallum and Sione Bailani representing Worcester Warriors. So very neutral for the show. But yeah. Congratulations to Worcester Warriors. Hopefully that's the start of something, because Worcester have got good players, they just don't have the depth. We'll see. Who knows? Never say never. But yeah. Any headlines that's grabbed you this week?
I'm not sure. There was one for the Spain sevens actually. While we're on sevens, I forgot to mention it. I think Thiago Romero, he scored an 80-meter try with one boot. His boot fell off a few seconds before, and he ran the full length of the pitch with one boot on to score. And nice. On the topic of Spain as well, they played the classic All Blacks, and 40,000 people in Madrid to watch them play.
Ooh.
So it's a real shame that they're not going to the World Cup after that incident. But Spanish rugby is really developing, and even though they got maybe smacked in the end, they did put on a show and they did score some nice tries.
I did see the lineup for the classic All Blacks. Didn't know all the names, but there were some that were giving me nice flashbacks, like Chris Masoi, Jose Gear, Luke McAllister, Conrad Smith was there.
I saw that. Yeah, he's not very classic yet.
Yeah,
like, he's not that. He's not that old though. I suppose, yeah, you've Luke McAllister as well. Jose Gear. They're all the same age, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but that was great to see 40,000 at Madrid. It was at the Atletico Madrid football stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in their new stadium, and like the atmosphere seemed to be really good from what I saw. Like everyone seemed to be enjoying it, and it's good to see rugby developing like that.
Yeah, good. Just don't cheat. Just have the legal players, and then you can get to a World Cup, because that happened. That's happened twice now, back to back. Same thing.
It's terrible.
It's just stupid.
But, there was a few more actually as well. While we're on the topic, Nick White turned down a $2 million move to stay in Australia, which I really admire. Like he's staying in Australia, playing with the Wallabies. He could have been getting $2 million every year. Like you have to admire that, not just going and playing for money.
No, it's after what we've heard from other sports this week, it's good to see that there is still loyalty.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange time. Definitely going forward, it's been an exciting time. And since the first time since COVID, I'm going to butcher the name, but I'm going to explain it anyway. The Pacific Tournament, World Rugby's Pacific Tournament, is returning. Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, and Australia A. Lovely stuff. Just move them. Just give them a Southern Hemisphere Six Nations.
Sounds good. I'd like to see if they I'd like to put Maori All Blacks in there maybe, or they're Pacific as well.
Yeah,
they're just as Pacific. So like, I think they should put that in.
Who knows? That could be the next development, because the Maori All Blacks should get just as much games, if not more games, than the All Blacks, I'd argue.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're still developing players.
Yeah. I don't see why not. Like it would make for a better spectacle as well. Probably like everyone wants to kind of see the haka, and haka face up against each other. Samoa and Fiji and Maori.
Yeah, I'd actually go one step further. Not for a tournament, just a one-off. Could do it before the Autumn Test. You could do it before the Rugby Championship if you want. All Blacks versus Maori All Blacks. That'd be intense. That'd be an absolute war.
That would be brilliant. And even to take it a step further than that, I'd love to see the Maori players in the All Blacks team. Maybe even go with the Maori All Blacks just to make it more interesting. But maybe you might have a really weakened All Blacks team then, though.
A weakened All Blacks team.
No such thing.
It's not a thing. But yeah, this has been another great week. I mean, URC's technically finished now. Prem's still going. Sevens has got a few more rounds. Super Rugby's got one more. Just have it all finish at the same time, so we're not confusing everyone. So stupid, because you've got one more round of the Prem, and then the semis and the final. You've got one more regular round of Super Rugby, but then you've got quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final. And then you've got the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final of the URC. Just flatten it all together.
Yeah, it will be a lot easier. I think actually, while I think that last week we said about the competition in South America, Jaguar is. I texted you earlier in the week about it, Murray. Jaguar is winning it every year. A Chilean side, I can't think of their name now, but they bet the Jaguares in the semi-final during the week, which was a big milestone for them and Chilean rugby. Like, it's nice to see someone else in the final, like you said, Murray. Get bored of seeing the same people winning. So I said we had to hold our hands up about that one, but good to see, anyways, that Chile rugby is really developing.
Yeah, it is, and they've played exciting rugby from what I've seen as well. But again, onwards and upwards, we'll love it. We'll love different teams making a nice little run for the title and stunning the big boys. Yeah, that's what rugby's all about. And thank you to everyone, like Kyle said at the start of the show, thank you for finally getting us over that 1,000 mark. It's just going to skyrocket now. If I can base it off mine, once you hit the 4 digits, it's just going to absolutely skyrocket. So thank you to for all the support, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. We've got so much coming out. This week, we go stateside once again with Old Glory DC scrum half Danny Tusitala, the most humble guy I've ever spoke to. Genuinely about got me to tears at one point. I didn't, but I told him after it, I was like, my God. And just, you need to listen to it when it comes out this weekend, because it is amazing. Such a sound guy. Come back next week for more Rugby Connection podcast, more Final Whistle interviews. Yeah, just constantly spinning. But next week we have the European finals to talk about, which is great.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be Leinster. It's going to be Leinster. It's going to be a walkover. It's going to be a walkover. Well, no, it's not. It's the Champions Cup final. But like, if Will Skelton is back, it will make a big difference to La Rochelle, I think. But Carbarlo, I think, is a big cost. We'll see.
We'll see. Definitely lots to talk about. But this has been Rugby Connection, and we will see you next time.